Regan Slaymaker for Boxing Social in association with Empire Fight Store and Our Kings, and I had the pleasure to be joined by Eddie Hearn in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Massive fight on Saturday, but more importantly, big fight for Ray Ford as well.
Yeah, important fight for Ray. I mean, obviously we had the Kakashi fight, which we were really excited about. It was a great fight. I never felt like Kakashi really wanted the fight. He pulled out, obviously got injured, and that's life. Now steps in Nova, which is a really good fight actually. He looks in great shape. And I need Ray to go and really make a statement. You know, I really need him to go and make a statement against the world, because I think we've got the best 230 pounders in the world in Sugar Nunes and Ray Ford, and I'd love to make that fight. I'd also love Ray to fight O'Shaki Foster, but he's got to really look good and make people call for that fight.
Definitely. If obviously Nova lost a split decision to O'Shaki Foster, if Ray Ford irons out Abraham Nova, he puts his name right in the mix to fight either of those straight away.
Yeah, he should be in the mix. You know, he was a guy who won the WBA World Championship, kind of, I say, away from home on a top ranked show, and a thrilling fight of the year. I thought he beat Nick Ball, but listen, it was a fight that could have gone either way. He needed to move up in weight, and now, really, I think he's one of the top contenders. I don't think he's a guy that most people are going to be screaming and shouting to fight, because I think he's a talent. But so you've got to be exciting, and you've got to make the fans and, you know, Riyadh season, everybody go, wow, let's get Ray Ford back. And that comes with a blistering performance.
It definitely does as well. Itauma, Dillian White. I mean, this fight, it's builders' experience versus youth. You've been around Dillian for multiple fights. Some might say the best periods of his career were with you. I mean, how would you see this fight going into it?
I think it's a very tough fight for Dillian. I mean, timing-wise, youth, activity, southpaw, speed of foot, punch variety. It's kind of like the worst matchup for Dillian. But we can't be naive enough to think that Dillian's not a good heavyweight, strong, rugged, ambitious, but he's got to get into the fight for, I don't know if it's 10 or 12, I think they've said 10 now, yeah. So, you know, he's got to get into the fight, and he's got to try and make sure that he can get rough and tough with him, you know, and that's going to be difficult to do. I think the first 3 or 4 rounds are going to be a nightmare, and he might get stopped in that period. If he can get on the chest, if he can just work the body, if he can do something. There's only a couple of things we don't really know about Moses, and that's if he's got a good chin and how tough he is. But he may have both. But that's what I just hope we can see that in this fight, because at the moment Whyte-Itauma has never boxed anyone even remotely close to the world level at heavyweight. He's doing it tomorrow night, so let's see how he gets on.
Definitely with heavyweights as well. Some people say you don't know if a heavyweight's kind of going to go to the top unless they've had that chin check. I mean, is that something you test do? And
I want him to have the chin check. I don't believe he's not got a good chin.
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter when you get hit by Dillian White with a left hook. Don't matter if you've got a good chin or not. So Dillian looks great. Obviously, that one fight against Ebenezer Tete, can't take too much from that. Didn't look great in that. How is he physically? Any injuries? Any niggles? How's he sharp? Like, you know, he's 37. So the odds are stacked against him. But like I said, he's a proud man and he's a tough man.
Definitely as well. When I was flying to Saudi Arabia Sunday, I wasn't expecting both Jake Paul and Andre Ward to be in the mix to fight Anthony Joshua. I mean, crazy week. But where are we with negotiations with anyone revolving around Anthony Joshua?
The Jake Paul fight, we've had very positive conversations with Nikisa and the team. It really comes down to if they really want it, and everything I'm hearing is they do. And if they do want it, it'll happen. The Andre Ward stuff, I don't think it really has much legs, if I'm honest, because if we're going to do, and obviously Andre Ward's a much better fighter than Jake Paul ever was or is or whatever, but if we're going to do that kind of weird thing, we'll just do the biggest weird thing we can, which is Jake Paul. If not, we'll fight in Africa, more than likely, which would be an exciting thing for AJ to do. Because this next fight really is just say a warm-up or a run-out fight, is to prepare yourself for what is hopefully Tyson Fury. And if it's not, it might be another big fight. So he's been out of the ring for approaching a year, and, you know, he'll need to come back in that type of fight. Didn't expect it to be against Jake Paul, but if it's there and the opportunity presents itself, we'll definitely take it.
If it is Jake Paul, is there not a fear that kind of what happened to Francis Ngannou, who is obviously a lot bigger? I think Francis Ngannou's head is about the size of my whole body. Like, that something quite bad that could happen there. Is that not there?
Yeah, I think we have to, you know, I mean, Jake Paul, it's kind of like a top, I don't know, 50, top 75 cruiserweight stepping up to fight Anthony Joshua, which you wouldn't normally make. Do you know what I mean? But we kind of got to also remove ourselves from saying that, like, this isn't AJ fighting a YouTuber. This is AJ fighting a cruiserweight, right?
Who's world ranked as well.
Yeah. So, but it's a mismatch. I can't tell you it's not. I can't tell you it's not dangerous. I can't tell you it's not a mismatch. I think it is. And I've told these guys, you've got to be really careful. If they think they can win the fight, they're not going, we just get the money and run. They think they can win, which is total delusion, but good luck to you, right? That's even more dangerous because they're not looking to come in and cover up and get hit around the side of the head and go, they're going to come to win, which is that's what, Ngannou really came to win. And then he got ironed out. So I think the Ngannou performance makes everyone go, but what, But as far as Jake Paul's concerned, he's got a lot more boxing experience, true, than Francis Ngannou, and he's much better than Francis Ngannou. I think they're both pretty average, to be honest with you. But there'll be a huge amount of people that will want to watch AJ flatten Jake Paul. It's up to their team if they want to accept the challenge. We're chilled. We're not chasing it. I'm not calling him out, and I'm just saying, if you really want the challenge, and respect to you for taking a challenge, because you can't really win. On one hand, fight a real boxer. On the other hand, I'll fight Anthony Joshua, but it's dangerous. Do you know what I mean? So give him if he steps in the ring, give him the respect, But he's not doing it for the money. Madly, he's doing it because he thinks he's good enough to win.
Great. It's a crazy one as well. Jaron Ennis as well. Fight with Whyte-Itauma Lima, if I've got his name correctly as well. I don't really understand the wide.
Serious
it's really
fight.
It's gone.
Watch. I'm not saying that by watching someone on the pads. Watch this guy. He's a fucking dangerous man. Dangerous man. You've got really lazy journalists like Dan Raphael, who just wants to slate Lima. Who's Lima? This is ridiculous. It's like, Dan, you've never watched him fight. You know nothing about him. If you know anybody that knows this guy, will tell you he's a seriously dangerous fighter. He had one loss on a fight that he took on 4 days' notice or 5 days' notice. Wasn't even in the gym. And since then, he's been going around the world fighting all these top prospects and beating them in their backyard. He's a dangerous, dangerous puncher, and he's better, in my opinion, than every fighter that we offered the fight to, which was Sergey Bokacic, Brian Mendoza, Rashidi Ellis, Josh Kelly.
Ramos was...
Both Ramoses. I keep getting people going, you offered it to the wrong Ramos. It was both Ramoses. Jesus Ramos with Louis de Cubas and Abel Ramos as well. Who else? Charles Conwell. Not sure if we did Lubin or not. But he beat, in my opinion, Lubin beats nearly all of them. Sorry, not Lubin. Lima beats nearly all of them. But because you haven't heard of him, you don't think it's a good fight. But a lot of those names that I mentioned, they just come to lose. I'm telling you now, Lima is the hungriest motherfucker you will meet. He is coming to win. And he's top 10 with 3 governing bodies. He's the IBO world champion. He's 10 on box rec or whatever it is. And it's a final eliminator for the WBA world title. But it's just the same old, same old. Never heard of him, so it's shit. Watch this fight. It'll be a thriller. And it ain't easy.
Definitely, and lining up, what a fight between him and Virgil Ortiz.
Yeah, of course. And I heard that he might fight Lubin. I saw...
that was reported today, yeah.
This is what we want. We want Boots to look sensational. We want Virgil Ortiz to look sensational. And then we want to make what may be one of the best fights in American boxing between those two. We're ready. There's a lot of reports. We have signed for the fight. Doesn't mean Virgil Ortiz is signed, and I've never suggested he's signed. We've talked about the terms, which are very straightforward with Golden Boy, and we've signed. So now it's over to Virgil Ortiz. Make the fight, come through in October. Let's make one of the biggest fights in American boxing.
Definitely, I did have Oscar De La Hoya in my comment section saying that Virgil Ortiz hadn't signed as well. One thing I will say is, I don't know if you saw Fight Disciples' comments about Jaron Ennis. They said that 34 fights in and nothing, and basically listed all the reasons why they weren't a fan of Jaron Ennis. Just your thoughts on that.
In his last fight, he fought the best welterweight on the planet after him in a unification. I do think the second Karen Chidazian fight that we would have got stripped if we didn't take was definitely a fight that we didn't or nobody wanted. This is a really solid fight at 154, and after this, he'll fight anybody. So we'll end up going Stanionis, Lima, Virgil Ortiz, probably Fundora or Mertzalayev or whatever. Now we'll go on a run. So The day I lose a second of sleep over the Fight Disciples is the day I just pack it all up. Because at the end of the day, not everything's perfect. And it's not easy getting the biggest fights for the best fighter in the world. No one wants to fight Boots Ennis. Stanionis stepped up, but that was 1v2. That was the Ring Magazine unification. So, you know, that was perceived to be a really dangerous fight. Now he battered him, but it's like, well, who's he ever fought? It's like, well, before the Stanionis fight, you were telling me what an unbelievable fight that was and what a dangerous fight it was. Just the fact that he's too good, but you'll see him go on a run. And I think this guy is going to go down in history as one of the best US fighters of all time.
Definitely. Just final one from me, Bam Rodriguez. I haven't spoke to you about that. I mean, a demolition job on Fumalele Cafu, who is a real seasoned world champion and goes into one of the best fights in boxing against Martinez as well.
I think that Cafu fight was actually quite a tough style for Bam. This fight, I think, is a perfect style for Bam. I think this will be a brilliant fight, and I think Bam's getting better and better and better. I actually put him now, arguably, as pound for pound number 3. You know, I think his resume and his quality of fights are outdoing that of Nair Inoue at the moment, who I also think is a brilliant fighter. But I just think with with what he's been doing, facing the champions, certainly if he beats Puma, I think there could be an argument to move to number 2, especially if Crawford gets beat. Do you know what I mean? So I think, and he's only young. He's a phenomenal talent.
Definitely, Eddie. Thank you very much.
Mate.
Cheers.